Let's talk about this.
Well, history proves that, unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Gengis Khan. Because if you are strong enough, ruthless enough, powerful enough, evil will overcome good. Aggression will overcome moderation. So you have no choice. If you look at the world as it is today, you have to be blind not to see that the democracies led by the United States have to reassert their will to defend themselves and to oppose their enemies in time while there's still time, before the jarring gong of danger wakes them up and wakes them up too late.
Both Christians and Muslims hold a very special place for Jesus. And so Bibi here insulted about 4 billion people. But it's deeper than that, and it's worth talking about because, as I've said many times, regardless of what you believe, I do think that the teachings of Jesus Christ can be very unifying. Pretty much all Christians believe that Jesus fulfilled the prophecies of the Old Testament, but there are very different interpretations as to what that means. For the religious and political authorities in Palestine at the time of Jesus, the fulfillment of the prophecies of the Old Testament would have been on a much bigger scale, with the Messiah being the ultimate conquering king. In the New Testament, one of the things that Jesus spends a pretty significant amount of time doing is rebuking the behavior of the religious and political authorities of the past as to how they treated the prophets. Matthew 5:11-12 says, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." The prophets he's referring to were not killed by Rome or some other conquering empire. They were killed by Hebrew kings with support from the Hebrew people. And this is the line, whether you're Christian or Muslim, that Jesus put himself into. He was positioning himself as the ultimate martyr to be killed by Jewish political and religious authorities. And remember, Rome didn't want to kill Jesus. They did it to please them. Like the prophets before him, he was a threat to the status quo. He also talks about how the religious and political authorities like to honor the prophets, even though they treated them terribly in the past. And this is definitely something we see in this country today. Look no further than civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. to see people who were hated at the time by the authorities and celebrated now. On the flip side, Christian and Jewish fundamentalists tend to focus on the succession of kings and the establishment of earthly kingdoms. One of the biggest reasons that people leave the church